Let's talk about seasonal eating. Seasonal eating means that we eat the foods that are in our local area that are in season at the time. So the way to do this is to, number one, if you're at a grocery store, check to see where the food is coming from. So if you're in the southern hemisphere and it's coming from the northern hemisphere, then you're getting a tropical fruit when you are in your winter, or vice versa. The other way is go to your farmers markets. Talk to the people on the stalls. Find out if they are the farmers that are growing the food. So in the winter, I live in Queensland, and in the winter there's lots of citrus. We even have apple and pears. And lots of berries and papaya I see out there. In the summer, I see nectarines and mangoes and bananas and some of the most beautiful sweet fruits. So we lived as hunter-gatherers. We lived when food was seasonally available to us, or we dried it, or we preserved it in the way of fermentation. So you can do all of these things as well. When we seasonally eat, then we're consuming the foods that are in our area, and our body has this circadian rhythm that understands where it is on the planet. It understands night and day. It understands so much more than we realize. And if we eat seasonally, then we are coding that circadian rhythm to what it should be like. These things should help you with sleep. It should help you with not being tired in the middle of the day. So seasonal eating was done during our hunter-gatherer days when, let's say in the summer, they needed to put on weight because there was lots of food around. So there were fat animals and there was fruits, sweet fruits available. Those fat animals had saturated fat in them. That saturated fat caused insulin resistance. The insulin resistance then allowed the sugar that you were eating, which is those beautiful sweet fruits, to make triglycerides in order to store fat for the winter that was coming. But we live in a time where food is available 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, and we don't ever see that winter. So when you go with the ebbs and flows of life and you understand the importance of this seasonal eating, you may find that you put weight on in the summer because you're eating the fat animals and the sweet fruits, but in the winter, when only apples and non-sweet fruits are around, and look at lean animals, then you'll start to lose that weight. That ebb and flow of gaining and losing weight also is about gaining and losing toxicity. So if any toxicity comes about, it goes into the fat cells. As you lose those fat cells and the fat in them, then you start to get rid of the toxicity. So I talk about this a lot in my book, Lab to Table. And I also talk about it in my Healthy Keto Way. So if you want to know more information on, how we can seasonally eat so that we, number one, detox without having to do a detox diet, but number two, that we remain the weight that is healthy for us, make sure that our brains are working brilliantly, then, then we can live healthy lives and we can be vital human beings. The other thing that I want to talk to you about seasonal eating is that, let's go back to the hunter-gatherer. So the hunter-gatherer stayed around where plants were. Didn't want to do many adventurous things, was happy eating all the fruit off the tree, didn't have to move because trees didn't move. And basically we figured out that the metabolism of the brain changed when we ate these plant-based foods. When the plant-based foods weren't available anymore and we had to chase the animals, the metabolism of the brain changed. It actually activates the higher brain. It creates an adventure seeking brain. It actually changes the way you think. So I believe that seasonal eating and understanding that having sweet times in your life and non-sweet times in your life actually changes your higher and lower brain's activities. And I think that this is important because there are times when we need to reap and be adventurous and do things, and then there are times where we need to stay calm, stay in one place, rest, and review everything that is happening in our lives. So why don't you try it? Give it a go. See how it works for you. Happy changing habits.